episode of Classic City Talks with Classic City Locks. We're your hosts, Mike and Wes. And y'all, we had a great week last week. A little bit of a down one before that, but we are back with another banger week. So what is that, Wes? 4 out of 5 weeks now we've been cooking.
Yeah, it's 4 out of 5 weeks positive, and it's 4-1 positive, not just 3-2 positive.
Yeah, it was great. We'll do a little bit of a recap, and then we got some good games this week for y'all. Got some fun super dogs, all that good stuff. We're rolling. We're feeling good, getting deep into the season. Take it away, Wes.
Yeah, so our Big Ten reads last week were great. Michigan, the wagon, as always,
The
over
cheaters.
46.5 against Michigan State. Wisconsin covered 2.5 against Illinois, which was great. Another Big Ten win for us. And our third Big Ten pick was also a hit. Rutgers
Woo.
giving 5 points at Indiana. So there was a lot of talk about me deciding to don the Scarlet Knight helmet last week, but we're not going to get into that. And then Ole Miss covered 6.5 at Auburn for me. Unfortunately, Mike's Mississippi State, Arkansas over 48.5 was our one swing and miss of last week.
I think that we could make an entire video of just me uh screaming into the void about that game. I like checked the score in the second and I was like, it's looking a little low. And then I checked it midway through the third and it was like 7-3. And I was like, are you kidding me?
I saw that final score and I immediately was like, oh, and then I was like, Mike picked that.
I texted with Wes before the game. I was like, well, you texted me first. You're like, yo, did you see that Mississippi State's quarterback is out? I was like, this isn't fair. This changes everything. And then it was like, well, they couldn't even score more than 10 points. So
Yeah, I don't
we're
think
gonna
the
chalk that one
quarterback
up.
was the issue there.
We're gonna chalk that one up. If that injury hadn't happened, we all know that Mississippi State would have put up 55 points, covered everything
Clearly.
on their own. But yes, you can't win them all. That was a pretty emphatic loss. But hey, we hit the week before that. We'll be back.
Yeah, so we'll get right into this week. We're following our trends. We've been going along with some trends. No wagon in Michigan's over this week, but last week we took 3 Big Ten plays. This week we're taking 3 plays, all with like 9 or 10 point spreads.
Yeah.
So our first pick for you is Oklahoma giving up 9 points at Kansas. We like the Sooners to win by more than 9. Kansas is coming off a bye here, which hurts us a little bit. But Oklahoma just got, a wake-up call last week.
Yeah.
They almost lost and ruined their perfect season and would have gotten a Big 12 loss. So we like the Sooners here to win by more than 10. Mike, what has this Kansas team been looking like this year?
Yeah, so a similar situation to last year's Kansas team. I feel like they just kind of sleptwalked into this part of the season, got some good wins. It's like, oh, this is an undefeated team, but they weren't really playing anybody. And then the moment they start to get into the nitty-gritty of like conference play, we've seen them struggle. They dropped to Oklahoma State. They dropped another game, and they're letting other teams that are not great score on them a lot.
Nevada.
That Nevada, who is not a good team, just put up a fight against them. So just not much there, even though they got a 5-2 record. And Oklahoma, they needed that wake up call. I think we both agree here that we can see them win this by 14 at a minimum, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We'll come back and put that on the blooper reel as soon
Yeah.
as it doesn't happen next week.
But
But
up next, we're gonna be taking, like Wes said, another similar spread. USC minus 10.5. They're going to play Cal. I mean, USC. What happened? What happened? We
go
will
back
not
and
be
watch
seeing.
our USC season prediction video, see if we got it right or wrong, because I,
Yeah,
I honestly don't remember. I think their worst case could be like 7-5 now, but
Caleb Williams cannot beat Utah. He just can't. It's just kryptonite.
0-4
So
against them, I believe.
that at least three. So they lose 2 games, but I think this is kind of an overreaction. I mean, they have an elite offense. That things have been a little rocky recently, but Utah is a very good team. Cal, on the other hand, is the bottom feeder in the Pac-12, and I think this line's a little bit of an overreaction. If they had won last week, would we see a line this low? Probably not. We're gonna ride with this offense to just get a
Yeah.
quality 2-score win.
Mike, you said something great to me while we were going over this, is that like if this line was at like 14, 17, we wouldn't bat an eye at it.
Exactly.
Oregon
Exactly.
State was favored by 9.5 against Cal. Other teams were favored like 17.5 against Cal. And I think people are like were expecting the bounce back from USC last week and they didn't have
Yes.
it. And so this is their opportunity, you know. They're kind of being doubted now but they're playing a much inferior opponent in Cal. So
Yeah,
we like
and if Caleb Williams has any desire whatsoever to go for the Heisman again, like come on, like put up some numbers, pick your head up and get a dub. And I
yeah.
think they'll do that.
Yeah. And so our third pick, another one that me and Mike just looked at each other and we said, why is this line here? But
Yeah.
don't overthink it. We are taking UNC, the University of North Carolina, to cover 11.5 at Georgia Tech. This one, I mean, like Bowling Green beat Tech by 11 at home. And North Carolina is now in wounded animal mode, cannot lose another ACC matchup if they want to, secure their spot in the ACC title game. Uh, there's no room for error here. Um,
Exactly.
the other great thing about this is it's not a look ahead game for them. Their next week's opponent is Campbell. So it's not like they're going to play Florida State next week or somebody huge like that. So
Yeah.
this one we just don't overthink it. UNC should easily cover 12 against Tech.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen them. This team has developed since last year. They have a much more confident defense. And like we said before the show, sometimes good teams just slip up. I mean, this kind of thing happens. We're not going to see this again from them. They are a disciplined team. Drake May is a good quarterback. They're not going to let that happen again.
Yeah, I like what I said last week about them too. Is like they were kind of coming up into like, is that a playoff caliber team? And then
Yeah.
they lost to Virginia, and it's like, well, the ball bounces certain ways. You know, it was an awful game for them, but you can't take back what you say. If you think they're a playoff caliber team and they happen to lose by like 2 points to a really inferior opponent, you're doubtful about them, but you still got to believe that that potential is still there.
Yeah.
So
Their season is not over. Like if they win out, win the ACC, who knows what happens. So they have a lot
exactly,
to fight for.
yeah, I
But
agree.
those are our three picks. I really like these. Wes and I were pretty, on board with them with each other off the rip. I think we have a telepathic link at this point. We've been doing this long enough, so
Yeah.
we kind of know on our mutuals. But breaking from our telepathic link, going into our individual picks. Starting off, I'm going back to the South. Tennessee, 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 Tennessee. We thought that they were going to take down Bama. They came out swinging, had them on the ropes, and then they
We
could not score a single point in the second half. Putting that all to the side, I am taking them at -3.5 at Kentucky. Historically, I think that Tennessee has just done better in this matchup. If you look at the history of this, they generally have controlled this matchup. And Kentucky, while they have a decent defense overall, their pass defense is like in the hundreds in terms of best in the country. So they're not good at that. I think that opens the game up for allow Milton to cook through the air if he needs to. We know Tennessee can move the ball on the ground, and I think that it if Milton has been struggling, this is an opportunity for him to develop it. And I don't think that Kentucky has the offense to really keep up with Tennessee. So I'm gonna stick with them. I think the second half lights got a little too bright last week, but I think they're still a solid squad and they get the win by a touchdown or more here.
Yeah, no, me not liking that one, just not enough to go there with Mike, and him not liking this one enough to go with me. I'm taking Wisconsin plus 14.5 against Ohio State, sticking in our Big Ten bank of knowledge right there. This is a perfect letdown game for Ohio State. Wisconsin's season basically on the line, kind of over. They
Yeah.
they could make their year with a win against Ohio State. I just think the line is too inflated. I do not think that Wisconsin will win the game, but I like them to at least keep it within 2 touchdowns. That's why 14.5 is a really good spot, I think, for the Badgers here. We took them last week, so I'm gonna ride with them again.
Yep, yep. Not enough for me to get on there. I mean, it was a close game. They covered last week, but it was close. So I don't know, Wes. We'll
Well, we'll
see. We'll
see. We'll
see.
see. But my super dog of the week, this segment has been insanely popular. Our best segment we've
Yep.
ever done because I'm perfect at it.
Oh
I'm
my God.
I'm
Yeah,
3-0 now, picking super dogs. We didn't address this at the beginning, and I'm just now realizing. But I am taking Mississippi State this week as my super dog. They're 6.5 point dog going into Auburn. You know, I've been kind of changing sides on some teams here. I thought about taking maybe not the Cardinals again, but I really like this segment. So let's continue to see it. Miami was my super dog last week. They beat Clemson despite not being favored. So Mike, who is your super dog underdog of the week this week?
Going back to a super dog team that broke my heart earlier in the season, but I'm ready to be heard again. Wyoming Cowboys, let's ride. 5-2, Wyoming Cowboys going to take on the Boise State Broncos on that gaudy blue field.
I didn't know they were playing Boise State. Boise State's ugh,
I'm
yeah.
seeing that picture of it now. But yes, I'm riding with the Cowboys here. They are 5-point dogs. Even though Boise State is 3-4, they just lost to Colorado State. I just think that Wyoming has a better record than them. Air Force is a very good team. We're seeing that more and more every week. They kept it within one score. They have a solid win against a good Fresno State team. They put up 10 against Texas. I just don't think that they should be, an underdog by this much. I think that they could win this game outright. I'm going to trust them to get the dub on the road on that nasty field. I'm going to ride with the Cowboys. I know they will not disappoint me 2 times in one season.
Mike really likes riding with the Cowboys. Makes you wonder a bit. It's interesting for sure that he loves his Wyoming, but they've never given him a peaceful night's
Only
sleep. So
taken
we'll
them
see.
once. But Boise State's given up a lot of yardage.
Uh,
Wyoming can win this. They can win
I-
games.
who are you
It's time
convincing
for a
right
bounce
now?
back.
Yourself or the audience?
It's time for a bounce back. Enough said about Wyoming. Check back on this next week when they get the dub.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you guys. We hope it was entertaining. Check back next week, as Mike said, so you can all come and see him epileptic after his Cowboys let him down again. But seriously, thank you. Stay tuned for our end of the year punishment. We haven't gotten any more of those, so it looks like it's going to be down to the two we received. So I don't know. I
And
don't
maybe
know.
we'll throw in a beer mile there for fun, right?
Yeah, exactly. But we hope this is a good week of college football. Like our picks. Don't like them. Let us know in the comments below. And thank you for watching, guys.